Hello, hello, change makers. How's it going? It's Amelía here from Know the Self Mystery School. And I wanted to check in with you guys today because this full moon we just had has been pretty intense. I know quite a few people who are really in it, working to navigate the Hall of Mirrors. So if you're watching, please like the video, say something in the comments. Let me know what's coming up for you in this experience of the afterglow of the full moon in Scorpio, the supermoon in Scorpio. I want to hear about it. I'm just going to double check that I am live here because I'm not seeing it. Oh, there you go. I see someone saying hello. Hey, Laura. How's it going? What are you experiencing with the full moon? So I'm calling it, this phase we're in as a collective dark night of the soul. So we are navigating some really intense energetics as we're all on house arrest and in quarantine, and we're being pushed through the eye of the needle to birth a new era, a new way of being. And I hope you like my new background. This is the Hall of Mirrors. So when we enter the Hall of Mirrors, it gets really confusing, and it can, for many people, be like a massive crisis point, right? Like I'm trying to find the right words to I don't want to induce more fear, but you all know that, this is a weird time. Like some people are going through like nightmare after nightmare with losing family members or being sort of trapped with so much fear of the unknown, not sure what next is coming down the pipeline. Maybe you feel like the rug has been pulled out from underneath you. Others of you might be experiencing the opposite, like feeling just this great time of deep rest and replenishment. But we all know that as a collective, we're going through a crisis point, right? The world's not going to be the same. Many structures are falling. And when we're in the Hall of Mirrors, it's like this washing machine effect. We don't know what's real, what's true. It's very hard to navigate all the different dialogues. Are we in World War III? Is this a bioweapon? Are aliens descending? Is this some AI Borg trying to take over our systems, trying to get inside of our bodies? Like it goes on and on, right? You can get into full-on paranoia mode if you're listening to all the narratives. So how do you stay centered and grounded and find your way through? And this is, what spiritual warriorship is about, learning how to cope with so many perspectives and to find your still inner voice. And it's really necessary right now that you know how to navigate. If you're unable to find the stillness in the eye of the storm, you're going to be in that tornado effect. I see your comment, Ed, vindication and awakening. Yeah, so much rearrangement. Yes, Laura. It's like everything just has to be shaken out, shaken down to like restructure the puzzle. So I love this image of the Hall of Mirrors because it feels like that. And we can even lose ourselves, like not really know what's going on. And this supermoon in Scorpio is sort of revealing insights into our own psyche, into our own nature. So you might be noticing some hidden trauma come up. You might be noticing aspects of yourself come to the surface that are unfamiliar or foreign to you. Maybe it's strong emotional charges that are maybe feeling off. If any of that's happening to you, write it in the comments. And if you have any questions, feel free to interact with me here while I'm live. I can try and answer it. Hey, Anna, nice to see you. Well, see you in the comments. um, yes, so the Hall of Mirrors really, it's like the chrysalis for the butterfly when you feel like you're being squeezed to death. So if you're in that squeezing, know that you are strengthening and finding your resilience and your capacity, right, to break through and spread your wings and really surmount the great struggle. So we're doing that collectively right now. And I believe that each one of us, and especially those of us who are the spiritual warriors and have been through these dark nights before, we are being asked to really get into our raw, naked, soulful self. So there's no more, I want to say pussyfooting, which is so weird because I would not normally use that word, but it's the one, you know, like that tiptoeing around the narcissist, around the normalcy of the way that the world's working, where we feel, you know, those of us who've been seers or aware of this situation for a long time, kind of waiting for this type of an event. There's no more waiting, like it's here, right? So how are we to show up and serve? And I think that in moments like this, we need leaders, we need people to show up, and especially those of you who are highly empathic and sensitive and been witness to this, your voice is needed. And it might have been really scared to stand up for yourself before, right? Because anytime you stood up for your beliefs or things that you felt were going on, you were being, you know, hammered down or pushed aside, called a conspiracy theorist or a freak or whatever. We've all heard that. And now we have like the government, our right-wing government, kind of bringing the fake news to the forefront, bringing some of these deeper conspiracies that we've known have been happening, like out into the public. Of course, we have to take it all with a grain of salt because everything is being askewed right now. There is the truth in plain sight, but it's hidden and shadowed by so many spin doctors that it's really hard to get one clear narrative. Hi, April. Welcome. I'm glad you like my analogy, Ed. Laura says she's hemming and hawing. Yeah, it's sort of like, you know, what we hear coming out of the news right now. It's maybe for many of us, we've known about these things. I know for myself, a lot of the narratives coming out, it's like, yeah, especially, you know, the things that really trigger us. So I want you guys to look at what's the main thing you're being triggered at by now, like right now during this pandemic. Like, is it the lying? Is it the falsifying of the numbers? Is it around the virus itself? Is it around the vaccination? Is it around and for me, what's being triggered really heavily is all of the child trafficking and the pedophilia network being cracked open. And it's, you know, I have to look and sit and go, why is this so triggering? I mean, for me, obviously, it goes back to my childhood and the things that I experienced and saw growing up within a cult that had a lot of ties to this underground network and all of the grooming that I saw go on. And it's been the like deep, dark secret of my life that I never dared talk about because it was, well, for a few reasons. I didn't talk about it because I didn't want to be looked at in that victim way. I didn't want to be told that I was a liar. I was also terrified of, you know, the people who are still alive that I know are a part of this network kind of coming after me or being persecuted. And it was kind of like, this is a past, I've overcome it. Let's just put it put it behind and move on and try and find some normalcy. And I'm seeing that, like, in order to really anchor in these new codes, this new potential, this new energy that we are all experiencing, this frequency is really, really high. We have to shed these old, this old trauma, this old belief that we have to de-stress things at the deepest cellular level. So that can be really, really hard, right? And I'm curious what's coming up for you guys, because during this supermoon, we're just on the other side of, we're still in its illuminatory glow. So is there something coming up from your childhood that you're realizing maybe you didn't fully heal that needs to be cleared? Is it something you're finding yourself getting really triggered about that this quarantine is really pushing you towards? Like, what is that? I would love for you to share in the comments if you're feeling brave and safe enough to do that. I would love to hear. April says so many aren't connecting the dots. Yes, and April, doesn't that like piss you off? I've seen you get upset in the comments. For me too, sometimes it doesn't piss me off. What shocks me is how much people don't want to look from other perspectives, how they get their safe narrative and then they would rather be in denial and like stick to the narrative rather than like explore all the possibilities of what could be happening. Hey Peggy, nice to see you here. I love that little one that was scared in the past, and I'm so sorry you had to experience those startling times. Yeah, thank you, Peggy. Yeah, so like what are those things from the past that are surfacing for you guys? Or, you know, where is it that you're getting shaken right now? And I noticed I put this thread on my personal page on Facebook, and I just said, you know, how many of you are going, you know, if the Bill Gates vaccine comes out, how many of you would take it or feel safe by it, or what do you think about it? And I couldn't believe it. I've never had so many comments on a post in my life. I think it's over 400 now. And the majority of people, which, you know, are friends of mine, all said, no way, I would never take that. But there was a handful of people that really, and that are my friends actually, that were believing that this is a good thing. And then there was some healthy debate. There was some sort of feelings of like bullying and people really making jokes of me and saying like, oh, you sound like this conspiracy theorist and all of that. And I thought, wow, you know, people would rather attack and condemn someone else's beliefs than just have a healthy adult conversation, like an emotionally mature conversation. And I was so curious about it. I wasn't feeling triggered or upset by them, but more like, wow, they're so quick to judge me, and yet they're just believing, you know, this guy, Bill Gates, over listening to me. They'd rather just accept this opinion because it's giving them hope, or it's giving them a nice feeling that some wealthy philanthropist would come to save them or something. And that was just eye-opening for me. It was eye-opening that people would attack me for just asking the question, or attack me for assuming that there's no way I would trust that. So I'm curious, like, you know, what are you guys dig deep, like what is the point that's really triggering you? Because this moment that we're having, I mean, the way the stars are aligned right now, it hasn't been like this in hundreds of years. So we are clearly on every level birthing something totally new. We're at a revolutionary time, which you're all aware of, but how is it affecting you? What are you being activated to do? I feel passionate right now, as always, that this is my mission, to help people awaken to that peace that you're offering. And what I found in my own process of moving through dark nights many times and going through levels and levels of initiations and awakenings is that it continues to evolve. You know, I've always been a strong protector of psychic children because me growing up with abilities, I found that I was a target for some really sick forces on the planet. And so I'm very protective when I see gifted young children, to make sure that their parents know how to handle a child that has many gifts, or how they can navigate such a confusing world. But right now it's shifting towards like protecting all innocence on the planet, all things that are light and beautiful, because these opposing forces are so strong right now, and we really, each one of us is being called to really find the balance within the self, because here we are in house arrest. Like, you can't go out and protest. I guess some people are, but I don't know if, you know, maybe you're being called to do that, and that's great, but a lot of us maybe feel isolated, or we're in a place where that's not even a potential, like something. For me, I would never go and protest. It's not my thing. But there are things that we can do just within our homes, within ourselves, to change this global landscape that we're in. Peggy says, yes, had the same experience with judgments, but that of a video I shared, and that's okay, because unless they see more than one perspective of something, they won't be able to see choice. Yeah, absolutely. April says, trusting myself to open to speak my truths. Yeah, April, I've really watched you online, like, get braver and braver and braver, and really start talking. And I love that, because that kind of fierceness, if you guys are being pushed to a corner where you're getting like fierce and angry and agitated, it's a blessing. It's such a transformative energy. So really, you know, you're emotionally mature people, so use that energy to get creative. Like, how are you going to solve this issue? Like, maybe it's just your voice is needed. Maybe you need to calm down and like just articulate, like I've seen you do, April, in a beautiful way. Like, just get and articulate things so that people can hear you, because obviously people can't hear someone being hysterical or freaking out, right? So find that thing. I wanted to take you guys through a quick exercise. This exercise is super simple. I've been doing it, oh God, I think like 25 years now, just to illuminate to myself, like, where inside me things might be off balance. Because sometimes we think what needs our attention right now, you know, maybe you're having a struggle with finances because things are closed down. You might be kind of focused in your finances, but the real issue might be something else. So I'm gonna jump in and show you this. Please grab a piece of paper. And if you don't have one, you can still just do this in your head with me. We're gonna go super fast and really quick, but if you do have a piece of paper, go ahead and draw a circle and make a cross, and then cross your circle again until you have 8 pieces of a pie, like that. Okay, and in each sector, we're gonna write one of the domains of your life. So one slice of your pie will be your love life, one will be spirituality, one's gonna be life purpose, one's gonna be your health, one is gonna be family, one's gonna be leisure, one's gonna be your finances, and one is, the last one will be your friends, okay? So it's gonna look something like this. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, you can't see it at all because I have a white screen on. That's so funny. Okay. Um, it's a hall of mirrors. So it's a circle with X and slices of pie. Okay, so just go through this with me really quick. I want you to just close your eyes, take a deep breath. Okay, just clearing to the balance level, seeing yourself fully aligned in the center of your chest, seeing that container around your body being solid and grounded, connected to the earth. And feeling yourself just lining up in the center. Take a few clearing breaths, okay? I want you to use your intuition and just go with the first number that pops into your mind, okay? So from 0 to 100%, 100 being the absolute best, 0 being zero, nothing, nada. How satisfied are you right now with your love life? From 0 to 100. And I want you to just write that number down. And try not to think about it too much. Just get a number, okay? It might not make sense. It's just a momentary check-in, okay? From 0 to 100%, how satisfied are you right now with your connection to spirit, to your spiritual practices, to the sense of spirit, from 0 to 100? Okay, write the number. From 0 to 100, how satisfied are you right now with your friends, your feeling of friendship? From 0 to 100, how satisfied are you right now with your finances? Okay, from 0 to 100, how satisfied are you right now with your leisure time, your leisure life? From 0 to 100. And from 0 to 100, how satisfied are you with your sense of family? And from 0 to 100, how satisfied are you with your health? And from 0 to 100, how satisfied are you with your life purpose? Okay, and you can go ahead and make a slice of the pie. So you're going to get you have the circle, and then you're going to get an inner circle that's going to be off balance, right? And you can see, okay, if this was 30% and this area was 80%, it's obviously going to be skewed, right? The inner circle is not going to be balanced. I want you to look at the number you got that was the lowest. What is your lowest number? Okay, that is indicative of, so I just did it for myself, and I can see that I'm actually surprised because I wouldn't have thought that that was my lowest number. And that's why I love this exercise, because we consciously focus in one area of our life, but when we actually do this, we can see that there's something underneath in our subconscious that we're not aware of. So mine was friendships were the lowest, which is surprising. I guess it's not because we're in quarantine and I'm not able to spend a lot of time with my friends, but yeah, that's not what I thought it was gonna be. So what was yours? What was your lowest number? Does anyone want to share? Go ahead and write it in the comments. When we are working with universal laws, we can see that there's a law of balance, right? And so there's a yin and the yang in the universe. And sometimes when we focus on the opposite, we can affect the other. And also when we look at what is it that we're lowest in, we can start to, like when it's an unconscious thing like this and we focus on it, we can repattern and bring a lot of energy into it in a few short moments. So I only have a couple minutes before I have another appointment. So I want to do this. I'm going to speed up a little bit. Okay, great. I see some of you guys wrote in finances, love life, friendship. Okay. So whatever your lowest one is, take that and just take a moment to take a deep breath. And I want you to imagine, so just clear your mind of any preconceptions. Okay. And imagine, what does it feel like if it were 100%? What would your friendships or your love life or your finances or whatever one it is for you feel like if it was 100%? Feel like, you realize I said feeling, not look like. So what would it feel like? Okay, and you can go ahead and type in, come up with like 6 adjectives that tell you what that feels like if it were 100%. Go ahead and type it in. So I'm gonna do mine. So friendships, what would friendship feel like if it was at 100%? I would feel connected. I would feel supported and held. I would feel energized. It would feel celebratory. It would feel like dancing. It would feel like extended family. It would be super joyful, okay, for me. Okay, so what are yours? Okay, Laura, I see loving, embracing, connected, resolved, seen, joyous, awesome. Edward, energized, fulfilled, awesome. Try and come up with 6, okay? And you guys, so your homework moving forward to really make a shift in that area of your life is to just keep feeling that, keep focusing on what it would feel like until every cell in your body is like vibrating with those feelings. And it, you know, you're going to feel like, okay, I'm making this up, or maybe some of you feel like, I have no idea how that's going to happen. And that's absolutely perfect, because we're not in charge of the how it's going to happen. We give that up to spirit and to the magic synchronicity of the universe. And we're focused on just being a right vibrational match to that energy. Okay, I need to run. I got to jump on a call. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Oh, Peggy, I see yours. Ease, supported, worthy, joyful, that I matter, satisfied. Yes, with her finances. That's awesome. So keep doing that. If you can hold this as long as possible, like, but even if it's just 1 minute a day, you guys are going to experience a shift in that area of your life. So keep me posted here in the group. Let me know. Come back to the video and add your comments in a few days. Let me know if anything magical happens. If any of you are interested in joining the mystery school to activate your mission and to learn how to really be and hold yourself as a sovereign being and navigate these difficult times, the link is in the comments of the video, or the description of the video. All right, my friends, have a beautiful weekend. Keep writing this quarantine out. Hopefully it will be over. We will be celebrating together soon. Okay, take care. Bye.